G'day fellas and welcome to a casted game. This is an extra special casted game. This is EGC Finals for 2023. This is a $25,000 tournament and we're getting to cast some of the games here, checking out exactly what we've got going on at the top level. So let's introduce our players for today. In the northwest corner of the map in the color red, representing Izzy Esports, we've got MarineLorD on the Abbasids. And on the south side of the map, in the color blue, representing my insanity, it is the Mister on the Byzantines. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're enjoying this Age of Empires 4 content, go ahead and leave a like on that video. Make sure you subscribed and hit that bell for notifications. Look at that, we timed it all up again. Now, let's talk a little bit about what we've got here today. We've got two civilizations, an old civilization, a new civilization, and objectively, some of the best players in the world, some of the most creative players in the world. In fact, I want to shout out right now a little conversation I had with Mito. Mito's one of the developers for Age of Empires 4, and he messaged me, and we were talking about the Byzantines, and he said, honestly, Drongo, I don't even think I'm anywhere close to where the Mister is for this civilization, because he is just on a whole nother level when it comes to theory about the Byzantines. So I'm excited to see what the Mister is going to be pulling out today, because this is the final rounds of EGC TV for this year. EGC TV have thrown a lot of tournaments this year. Pesty's been doing a great job over at EGC TV. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to cast as much as I would like to have. Obviously, you guys know I've had a couple of new additions to the family over the past couple of years, and only in the last couple of weeks, a brand new one. And it just means that I really don't have the time, and I don't have the, what's the word? I don't have the versatility that I once used to. You know, that's one of the things I don't tell you about parenthood, is the complexities that each subsequent child adds. It's like an extra variable in the matchup. It's kind of wild because, you know, one kid, that's easy. Only one kid can go wrong, but two kids, the first one starts crying and it triggers the second one, and now you've got a whole world of hurt. But anyway, that's enough about my story. Let's get into it, because we are going to have ourselves a hell of a time here. Nice little early opening for the Mister. Where is that second cistern going down? I suspect probably on the other side here of the town center. He's got enough resources in the bank for it if he chose to go for it. And I'm kind of curious right now why he's not doing it. He's got the resources for it. I guess he's probably done the math and said, you know what, it's not worth putting down until I've aged up. Is that what he's thinking here? Because that would make a lot of sense. That's something I kind of figured out as well. Early on, you want to prioritize just clicking the age up button and then get that level 2 cistern in, because you don't really gain much from it. And we see these two villagers coming back from gold now. He's going to be heading over to the straggler tree. We're going to be paying attention to exactly what he's got in store for us, because we've seen the Abbasid before. We've seen MarineLorD. We know what he's up to. He's going to make Marines. He's going to be a tough guy. Anyway, Grand Winery going to be coming down here for the Mister. Still gathering Upstone. Is this just going to be a 2 TC play? Has he just sent these two villagers out to gather Upstone early on, and is that it? And now gathering... Oh, okay. All right. Respect. The man's not even going into double cistern on the opening. He's just going to slowly but steadily trickle in the stone for that second TC. Only 3 villagers on the landmark. Of course, going for the Grand Winery here. Not the best coverage when it comes to the berry bushes, but honestly, this isn't the best spawn for him. So I'm curious to see how he's going to look to respond to the military wing, because that's what we see on the other side of the map here. Now, I will say this, if I haven't already said it, please go check out EGC TV. It's going to be happening tonight. I'm not exactly sure what it is, but I'll leave a link in the description to the time that it's on, and I'm pretty sure it's 15 GMT. So for Australians, that works out to be about 2 AM in the morning. For everybody else, it should be sometime during the day. But we get to see in the flesh exactly what's happening. It's always more fun when it's live. So go check it out. Go say g'day. Look at this, a scout being very bold right here as it heads towards that Byzantine town center. Military wing about to come up. That's the great thing about going for this military wing, is he's going to be able to go for the second TC behind it and knows that he should be safe. And you can see him looking to hit that level 2 on the Golden Age. He's yet to hit it just yet. You can see he's 9 out of 10. That'll be 10 out of 10 there. And it'll be a little house that he throws down with it. But now beginning to move out across the map, you can see he's looking to put pressure on towards this front side. We can see the rally point for these units heading down towards this angle, looking to kind of loop around towards the gold, maybe even hit the berries. But beautiful little timing there on the Golden Age. Hits that about 4:30, and now working into that second TC. Doesn't have to worry about enemy pressure, of course. He's already got plenty of units out on this map. Let's check in on the other side of the map as we do now. See the age up for the Mister. Nice little timing here. Have a look at the resources he's got in the bank. 360 stone. Times it perfectly here. The town center. Where's it going to go down? I would suspect he probably looks to put it down here on the gold. This is a really good spot. No, he's going to go on the deer. And of course, this makes perfect sense. You know, you put it down on the gold. look at the threat that you've got right now. I suspect he knows about the incoming units. And he's done the math on it, and he says, you know what? I reckon I can get this TC up before these units get behind my base. And you can see MarineLorD knows on this map, of course, we are on, I was going to say hideout. It is not hideout. It is, bear with me, Hidden Valley. There we go. Hidden Valley. He's probably done the math and said, well, it's going to take me a certain amount of time to get around here. And this TC is going to come up. I'll throw it on the hunt. Makes sense. Why not? And he's just kind of biding his time with the Grand Winery. And I think this is what people hate the most about this landmark. This landmark, you build it and it gives you nothing at all. It's literally nothing. It just chills there until you're ready to take it. And it sucks because sometimes, you know, the optimal timing for this landmark, well, you need horsemen. You need wheelbarrow. You need your horticulture upgrade. And we now start to see MarineLorD going for a second TC. And look at that. He's actually beaten MarineLorD to the punch on that second TC. Before his town center is even down, the Mr. has already finished his. But there's a couple of caveats here. Obviously, MarineLorD's managed to go into that tier 2. He's already got that 15% gather rate for all resources on every single villager on the map. So that's important to note. I've just realized, hold on. It says Golden Age, but it only says research speed on that second tier. Do you lose the gather rate bonus when you get to tier 2? Because on the third tier, it says that it's 20% for all resources, but it doesn't say like 15% for all resources on the village gather rate for tier 2, because it's not there. So I'm kind of like, you guys get what I mean, right? Anyway, we'll worry about that later. Archery range now coming up, connecting the cisterns. He's already got this second one coming down on the other side. I do like the fact he's got the 2 villagers still on stone. He just kind of keeps them on stone, sends them there early, and then leaves them. MarineLorD looking to try and make his way down the bottom across the edge of the map. Mr. of course, going to be not allowing that, not permitting that to happen today. Let's see if he pops the villagers in the town center. You can see that the range of the TC is represented here. I don't know if that's actually authentic or accurate as to the true range of the TC. We can, yeah, you can see right there. Oh, wait, when the villagers pop inside, that extends out. Did you guys see that? Look at that. What? Excuse me. You can't... That's so dishonest. Is that not just so dishonest? You put vills in the TC and then the range gets a little bit longer? Because I'm pretty sure your enemies can click on the town center as well. So you click on the TC, it's like, yeah, bro, you can pass. Jokes. Just kidding. All right, well, over on the other side of the map, we see a third TC now coming up from MarineLorD. Has this been scouted out by the Mr.? I don't think it has, because his scout is on the other side of the base. It's one of the difficult things about this map is you really don't have a lot of scouting priority. You can try and dive underneath this angle. You could see he wanted to, but he just knows he can't. He's got to come all the way around the back here, look to try and escape through. I wouldn't be surprised if MarineLorD, yeah, he's got the TC here. He can just throw villagers inside and easily take that scout out if it does attempt. So he's not going to know about that third TC this early on, and that could lead to a big villager difference. You know, this is coming in at the 8-minute mark, and just to extrapolate that over the course of the next 10 minutes, that means MarineLorD is going to be making 3 villagers out of each TC every minute. So that's a total of 9 villagers every minute. So over 10 minutes, he's going to make 90 villagers compared to the Mr. who only makes 60 villagers. So the Mr. will be on around 97 villagers, whereas MarineLorD will be on 150. 150? No, sorry, 124. 124 versus 97, 98. It's a pretty big difference though. And it definitely, if you do not check it, it's going to be a big problem because you're up against fresh foodstuffs here on this side. Remember that the Abbasids have access to fresh foodstuffs, whereas the Ayyubids, their variant civ, do not have access to that. So that is going to be a big factor because you're paying a lot less for these villagers. So you're really noticing a little bit less going out of your coffers every time you do pay. But we'll check in now with MarineLorD and see how he's doing. He's really just biding his time. He sees the slow trickle of stone, but I suspect he knows it's going to be for cisterns, not going to be for secondary town centers. And now adding in a third cistern back here, and we can see the allocation of villagers onto gold. Both of these players playing a very passive opening, and the scout in a perfect position on the front here. He is going to get a pretty decent read. But I think what is kind of wild is he sees the archery range coming up here, but is it just me or does MarineLorD intentionally put this down here? Because he knows the scout is there and he sees it, right? Like, surely he's just intentionally baiting it because the stables, look at this double stack. You cheeky dog, MarineLorD. You ain't fooling anybody over here. Look at this. He's going in, what's he doing? Like camel together with horsemen or something behind this. So sneaky, so sly. This is just MarineLorD things. And, you know, I mentioned this anecdote quite a bit. I don't know if it's an anecdote or an experience, but I remember at my very first LAN event with these guys over in Berlin. It was for Nilly's Apartment Cup. And MarineLorD looked unstoppable, and the Mr. had to face him. And we were downstairs with the mister. He was having a smoke, as he does when he's not playing. And even when he's playing, he's having a smoke most of the time. But he couldn't hear because we're inside Nilly's apartment. Anyway, we asked him, how do you beat MarineLorD? And he said the trick to beating MarineLorD is you have to show him 3 barracks, and then you don't make anything from them. Because all he's going to do when he sees the 3 barracks is he's going to make a whole bunch of archers. And then the idea is that you counter them. And so we kind of see that same psych out happening now. I mean, MarineLorD's thrown down the double stable. He also exposes the barracks a little bit here. And he is making archers. Of course, we wouldn't expect him to neglect that. But it is interesting to see the response that's coming out from the mister. Because look at this. You see javelin throwers coming out. And this could cost him the game. This single decision to go into javelin throwers here when he spots a double archery range. This could be the difference between life and death. Because to be honest, javelin throwers aren't the primary unit that we feel like we should be going from the mercenary house, or at least that's the way it feels to me. Look at this 3rd archery range. Hold on a minute. Maybe he's getting serious about this. Units moving in. They're trying to find a way through. You know, we did see Puppy Paw go for the javelin thrower, so maybe they are a little bit underestimated. Horsemen looking to come around here. Surely you're going to start seeing walls come up, and just as I say that, we start to see walls come up across the map here, wanting to prevent any kind of raid from getting past. It does have the ability to move these villagers down towards this position, look to wall them in. We can see those berries getting evacuated as they've now run out. You can see that wheelbarrow coming through. He's starting to build up some good numbers here as well. And with the javelin throwers, he's now got a couple more in queue as well, as you would expect. And now, look at this. Villagers popping Akritoid defenses. He says, come on, you want to do it? Let's do it. I've got 2 armor here, baby. I got a little bit of extra oomph on my villagers. No textiles through just yet. Let's have a look, checking on the town centers. Doesn't look like he's picked it up, but it only takes 7 seconds. Keep in mind, this second town center only takes 7 seconds to make textiles because it's got access to the cistern with it's not conscriptio, it is dialecticus. Damn, Drongo, you are getting good at your Latin. Is that Latin? It sounds Latin. I feel like that's Latin. It's either Latin or Hogwarts. It's one of the 2. Anyway, mister, beginning to move up. Dialecticus Patronus. That's it right there. That's an actual spell. This is looking good from the mister. He's got decent number of units out at the moment. However, look at MarineLorD. He decided to actually make archers. Okay, he wasn't bluffing when he put those archery ranges down under the scout. He's like, I'm calling your bluff. Let's go, buddy. The one thing to note, though, he's got 25 archers against 8 javelin throwers. That's not a lot of javelin throwers. And it's going to mean, like, javelin throwers, they've got 4 armor up against the 2 damage, or up against the 6 damage from the archer. And you can see +1's coming through. He's not going to engage until he's actually got that all the way through. But he's only going to be doing 2 damage a pop, so you're going to need at least 35 archers to be able to one-shot, or to rather two-shot. No, actually, sorry, one-shot those javelin throwers. But you can see right now, Mister might be getting caught in a bit of an awkward spot here. Cavalry going to be forced back by the Lamentini. He wants to make sure he's continuing to throw down on these units. You can see they pop their little stance dance position here. He's taking slightly less damage on them. Keep in mind, the numbers do begin to dwindle here. The archers have done really well. MarineLorD, of course, a king of micro. He's just continuing to bait out these Lamentini. And unfortunately, the numbers here not with him in his favor. Javelins look like they're almost teeing off towards these horsemen. Unfortunately, instead of teeing off towards the archers on the backside, and all the Lamentini get eaten up alive, MarineLorD with an early victory in this fight are just going to demonstrate his power when it comes to the micro, and definitely his timing when it comes to these fights. Knew exactly when to pull the trigger, exactly when to go, and comes out with a resounding victory. Have a look at that, a 3-to-1 advantage on the military, almost a 3-to-1, a 2-to-1. We'll give it a 2-to-1 advantage on the military now. But definitely goes to show that when you're playing as the Byzantines, I think you've got to be very careful about it. It's almost like playing the English. You need this safety point to come back to. And I feel like maybe playing the inside could have been a little bit smarter, but then how do you go about attacking towards this TC? It's difficult because you're just inevitably going to get attacked, so maybe you could have brought some walls in potentially, but now it's all downhill from here as MarineLorD makes his way towards the Mister's base. Mister looking to try and defend in this feudal age fight. Once again, those hardened Lamentini with their stance dance their way through. You can see they're taking a lot less damage once they do have that movement speed reduction on them. You can see how slow they move, 0.94. Barely faster than siege units. That is, it's going to be a bit awkward, but have a look at this. Grand Winery already coming through. He's going absolutely ham with this Grand Winery. I will say, oh, you know what? This is a pretty well built base. I was going to say, oh, it's not the best built base here, but then I check myself, and then before I wreck myself, I'll accept it. This is, I mean, to be fair, you only really want that initial ring around it, right? Like the next ring, it's going to be really difficult to do, but let's have a look towards that north side. We got walls coming up here. No real surprise. As I always mention, when it comes to this map, normally it's about identifying where does the gold come. It seems like 90% of the time to come on the south side or southwest side of the map, and so often you see players just looking to fight over that side. That's the key side here. We're just kind of going to ignore this north side because the resources up here, they don't mean a lot, right? Like, it's stone. It's no big deal. Pfft, who needs stone? Not me. Not you. We don't need stone. In fact, we got enough stone in our base, right? So it's not a big deal. Whereas gold, that's the money shot. That's the important stuff. And have a look at this transition coming through from MarineLorD. Let's talk about farms. How many are we sitting on at the moment? 28. Keep in mind, he does have, or does not have, the Eco Wing, which means he doesn't have access to Fertile Crescent, which means he does not have access to those cheaper farms. Another thing to note, though, MarineLorD now starting to wall up. He's already got walls beginning to come across the map here, working towards the center as well. Plenty of villages here. 31 for the moment. Plenty of lumber camps in here. We do see the same coming in, and age ups in at the exact same time for all these players. Their game set's 100% on point. Now the age ups almost there. You can see the culture wing. I swear that said 0000 for a second. Did you guys see that, or was that just me? Surely that wasn't just me. Let's compare the pair. Let's see where these guys are at. 2100. 3,400, 3,500, about 4K. I'll give 4K to MarineLorD. 1,200, 2,100, 2,500, 2,600. 1.4K difference. Surely that's not just the villager difference, right? It doesn't feel like it. 24 villagers making that much difference. 23 villagers making that much difference. That seems kind of wild. Age up comes through for the mister. It's going to be javelin throwers on the way. Let's look at the upgrades and take a look what he's got. He doesn't have a whole bunch of gold in the bank. Only the 10 villagers on gold. It's going to take some time before he's got those upgrades, but have a look at MarineLorD. See, this is what I often talk about when I'm coaching people over on Patreon. I tell them that when you are looking for that castle age, if you've got a nice military built up, you need to be thinking about what upgrades am I going to click as soon as I get up. And for MarineLorD, we already know what the answer is going to be. Veterancy for his horsemen, veterancy for his archers, probably +2 ranged attack and +2 ranged armor. Let's have a look and see. It's going to be veterancy for his horse, or veterancy for the archers, veterancy for the horsemen, +2 ranged attack. We don't see the armor through just yet, but you do see that he has preservation of knowledge in Q. Did go up with the culture wing, which means it's going to reduce the time, or reduce the cost of these upgrades. Obviously, it doesn't reduce the cost of these ones, because these are time-sensitive upgrades. We need to get those upgrades now, because our enemy's aged up. We need to make sure that we've got them as well, but any subsequent upgrade we can delay. So now you can expect to see fertilization come through, now expect to see lumber preservation come through. Oh, geez Louise, look at this. Just expect to see Imperial age. It's going to go in comp bows. Definitely the right call here. Javelin throwers coming out here. Now, keep in mind, Mister did go into javelins, and I feel like javelins are definitely a smart call if you're playing or planning on playing a feudal age. But in the castle age, they start to lose a little bit of efficiency because you're going to be killing your opponent with such damage. You're going to be overkilling them. So you look at this puny little archer over here with its 92 health, measly 92 health. You're going to kill that in like 6 shots. You've got, 20, 30 javelin throwers. It's not going to go particularly well. You're going to be overkilling a lot, but we now start to see a bit of a build-up down towards this south side. Numbers looking good. Look at this, 71 versus 71. You're about to see an absolutely epic battle, but keep in mind there are a couple of units on this top side. He's chasing away the battering ram, using the battering ram to bait away a couple of these units, about 8 of them. Now MarineLorD, is he walking into a trap? He's walking into a trap. Look at this. The Mister is surrounding him. He's got his production on the right-hand side, those reinforcements coming through, and now the Mister brings the army in. MarineLorD walks into a Byzantine trap, making his way towards that front side. We don't see any siege out right now. He is looking for an additional cistern. It's on level 1 at the moment. He's looking to try and get it up to level 5. But here, the javelin throwers looking to make their way through. A couple of units do make their way into the base. It looks like it might be horsemen, but moving forward, the spears, we do see them with their teardrop shields now, throwing out that little bit of extra attack speed out the window, throwing that movement speed out the window, and behind this, the javelin throwers slowly teeing off towards the archer mass, but the combo's just doing God's work here. Look how quickly they're able to take out the lament knight. They don't even care about that bonus right now. They're just taking them out. Camel Rider's going to join the battlefield. A couple more. What do we got? Looks like we've got Varangian guards on the field, and the javelin throwers teeing off from the back line are doing work here. But MarineLorD, remember, he's got that eco bonus. He's going to be pumping into his opponent right now non-stop, and this is where that third TC is now starting to really come online to really kick in here. More javelin throwers joining the battle. MarineLorD will be forced back here. It might be that he needs to go head back, think about a mangonel or two to deal with these javelin throwers. It could be difficult, but behind this, have a look. Oh my god. Oh my god. He's killed 29 villagers. He's taken out 29 villagers in this time. This whole time, the Mister was asleep, microing his units on the front, walking into the trap. But the real trap was the cavalry that made it through to the base. And now MarineLorD sports a 60 villager lead in this game, taking out 33 villagers. And of course, we mentioned that 30 villager lead that he would have at the 18-minute mark. It's now only continuing to get worse. And speaking of getting worse, things are going to get worse before they get better for the Mister here, as Imperial Age is on the way for MarineLorD. He's maxed. He's 200 out of 200. Look at the economy coming out from this guy right now. You're talking about 6k per minute compared to his opponent, who's barely cracking 2.5. Things are not looking pretty right now for the Byzantines. And I tell you what, MarineLorD, he's an absolute master when it comes to the Abbasid dynasty, and it's no surprise to see him so dominant here. Now, villagers making their way forward, definitely deciding at the last second, probably not a good idea, and we do indeed hear a mangonel, but it's going to be the mangonel emplacement coming out. Can it be what he needs to save his life here? You do see the mangonels don't get a damage bonus against archers in this situation, but they obviously just do well against them because they're so low health. Javelin throwers, you can see them teeing off, trying to take out the Gulams. The age up comes through. MarineLorD Imperial Age, he's got, look at the upgrades that are coming through now. He's got 2,100 gold in the bank, and it's got to be GG. The Mister tapping out. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you go check out EGC TV tonight, Saturday, Sunday, for the next couple of weeks. I want you to go over there, say good day to him every single night. I'll leave the link down in the description. You go say good day, go there now. Maybe not now, but soon. Anyway, we'll catch you later. Thank you so much for watching.